On the morning of Easter Monday, April 21, 2025, the bells of St. Peter's Basilica tolled solemnly, announcing the passing of Pope Francis, the first Latin American pope and a transformative figure in the Catholic Church. Born Jorge Bergoglio in Buenos Aires, Argentina in 1936, he rose from humble roots to become the 266th pontiff in 2013, succeeding the resigned Pope Benedict XVI. His death, after a prolonged battle with respiratory and mobility issues, came just hours after he delivered his final Easter Sunday address, a defiant act of faith despite his frailty. As 1.4 billion Catholics worldwide mourn, the question looms: what's next for the world's oldest institution? Pope Francis' papacy, marked by bold reforms and fierce debates, leaves a legacy that will shape the upcoming conclave and the Church's future in a divided world. Jorge Bergoglio's journey to the papacy was anything but conventional. Born to Italian immigrants in Argentina, he faced early health challenges, losing part of a lung to illness. His calling came at 22, leading him to the priesthood during Argentina's turbulent and dirty war in the 1970s. Despite accusations of complicity with the military regime, he maintained he worked secretly to save lives. Elected Pope in 2013, he chose the name Francis, inspired by St. Francis of Assisi, signalling his commitment to humility and the poor. His papacy broke barriers. The first non-European pope in nearly a millennium, he shifted the Church's gaze toward the global south. From kissing the feet of AIDS patients to rejecting lavish papal residences, Francis earned the title a Pope of the Poor, embodying a church that welcomed the marginalized. Pope Francis' 12-year papacy was a whirlwind of change, stirring both admiration and controversy. He softened the Church's stance on divisive issues, allowing blessings for same-sex unions in certain cases and advocating tolerance for the LGBT community. He empowered women in leadership roles and appointed diverse cardinals, reducing Europe's dominance in the Vatican. His environmental encyclical, Laudato Si', galvanized Catholics to fight climate change, while his calls for peace in Gaza and Ukraine resonated globally. Yet, his reforms sparked backlash. Conservatives decried his progressive moves as a betrayal of doctrine, while liberals argued he stopped short of ordaining women or fully embracing gay marriage. His handling of child abuse scandals drew criticism for lacking concrete action, despite heartfelt gestures like kissing a survivor's hand. Beyond Catholicism, Francis fostered interfaith dialogue, signing peace accords with Muslim and Jewish leaders, leaving a blueprint for unity in a fractured world. Within weeks, 120 cardinal electors will gather in the Sistine Chapel for a conclave, a secretive ritual where ballots are burned and smoke, black for no decision, white for a new pope, signals the outcome. The next pontiff, the 267th earthly representative of Jesus Christ, will inherit a church divided between Francis reformers and traditionalists. Key questions loom. Will the Church deepen its progressive shift or retreat to conservatism? How will it address declining attendance in Europe and North America while nurturing growth in Africa and Asia? The cardinals, many appointed by Francis, may seek a normalizer, a leader to stabilize the Church at a gentler pace. Names like Cardinal Peter Turkson of Ghana, a social justice advocate, or Cardinal Luis Tagle of the Philippines, known for pastoral warmth, are whispered as contenders. The new pope will also face modern challenges, navigating AI ethics, countering misinformation, and engaging a digital generation drifting from faith. The next pope has a chance to redefine the Church's role in a rapidly changing world. Imagine a Vatican task force on technology, tackling AI's moral implications and combating fake news that divides communities. Empowering laypeople, especially women, could breathe new life into church governance, while a global synod might address regional crises. Secularism in the West, persecution in Asia, and poverty in Africa. Digital evangelization through platforms like X could reach youth with messages of hope and inclusion. Pope Francis' legacy offers a foundation. His Francis Fellowships in Latin America already inspire young Catholics to serve the poor, while online vigils with hashtags like #PopeFrancisLegacy unite believers worldwide. The next pontiff must build on this momentum, crafting a church that speaks to both the faithful and the skeptical. From St. Peter's Square to Westminster Cathedral, Catholics poured out their grief and gratitude for Francis. Leaders like King Charles, who met him days before his death, praised his compassion, while Vice President J.D. Vance hailed his care for humanity. In Syria, Catholics saw his Easter passing as a symbolic entry to resurrection. In the Philippines, where Francis drew millions in 2015, devotees recalled his warmth. In the UK, Muslims joined Catholics at memorial masses honouring his interfaith outreach. Across social media, tributes trended, with youth groups vowing to carry his mission forward. "He lived the gospel, not just preached it," said a London Catholic who met him, encapsulating the devotion he inspired. His death on the heels of Easter felt to many like a divine homecoming. Pope Francis' papacy was a bold chapter in the Catholic Church's 2,000-year history, blending humility with ambition, tradition with reform. As the conclave approaches, the cardinals face a monumental task: choosing a leader to unite 1.4 billion Catholics while confronting global crises. Will they embrace Francis' vision of an inclusive, outward-looking church, or chart a more cautious path? The white smoke will soon rise, signalling new era. For now, the world pauses to honour a pope who dared to dream of a church for all, a legacy that will echo in the Sistine Chapel and beyond, guiding the faithful into an uncertain future.